Hi children, this is T. Mahalakshmi from Trinity Academy Metric Higher Secondary School. Class 5, Unit 4, Weather and Climate. In the previous lesson, we saw about the major landforms, that is mountains, plateaus, plains and rivers. Well, do you notice the right side corner of the newspaper? What is written on the corner? Yes, that is weather report. Today we are going to learn about the weather and climate. Well, what is mean by weather? Yes, weather is defined as the condition of air temperature, air pressure, wind, humidity and rainfall in the atmosphere at a given place and time. I repeat, weather is defined as the condition of air temperature, air pressure, wind, humidity and rainfall in the atmosphere at a given place and time. Weather can change from day to day and even from hour to hour. So, the weather of a place can change rapidly. It may be bright and sunny with a clear sky in the morning, and in the evening, the sky may be covered with dark clouds. It may be start raining in the morning, but the afternoon may be bright and sunny. Changes in weather conditions give rise to seasons. In India, we enjoy three seasons: summer, monsoon, and winter. Summer. From March onwards, it grows hot. March, April, and May are summer months. Next, monsoon. From the month of June, rain clouds gather in the sky, bringing rain to most parts of India. The rains continue till the end of September. June, July, August, and September are rainy months. Third one, winter. After the rains, the weather becomes drier and cooler. October, November, December, January, and February are winter months. January is the coldest month. Season changes in an orderly fashion. This change from summer to monsoon and winter is called a cycle of season. Our lifestyle varies according to seasons. It influences what we eat, what we wear, and even the type of house we live in. It also determines the crops that farmers grow. Now, let us move on to the climate. The weather conditions that prevail over a large area and for a long period of time is called climate. I repeat, the weather conditions that prevail over a large area and for a long period of time is called climate. The climate of a place remains more or less the same year after year. Different parts of the world have different types of climate. On the basis of the prevailing climatic conditions, the world can be divided into 7 major climatic regions. Very hot and wet climate near the equator, hot and wet climate little bit away from the equator, very hot and dry, that is desert region, cool and dry climate near the Arctic Circle, warm and wet climate near the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, very cold climate near the poles, Mediterranean climate near the Mediterranean Sea and some parts of South America and North America. Now children, what influences the climate? Many factors influence the distribution of heat on earth, thereby affecting the climate. Let us read about them. The first factor is distance from the equator. We noticed that the rays of the sun are falling vertically near the equator and slanting at those places which are far away from the equator. The sun's rays cover a small areas near the equator. Thus, this region remains hot almost throughout the year. Away from the equator, the sun's rays spread over a larger area. Thus, this region has lower temperature. Now, let us discuss about the second factor, altitude. Height above the sea level. Children, what is mean by altitude? Yes, the height of a place above the sea level. Do you know why people go to hill stations in summer? This is because the hill stations have a cooler climate than the plains. The higher we go, the cooler it becomes. This is because the temperature falls when the height increases. It is very cold in high mountains because mountains are at high altitude. You know that hill stations such as Shimla, Nainital and Ooty are cool even in summers. Most peaks in the Himalayas are covered with snow and ice even during summers. This shows that places located at higher altitudes are cooler than those at lower altitudes, even if they are situated on the same latitude. For example, Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa is 5,895 meters high and its peaks remain covered with snow all the year even though it is near the equator. This is because of its height. Distance from the sea. Distance from the sea also affects the climate of a place, as water heats or cools slowly than land. The sea has an effect in both summer and winter. Places near the coast have a moderate climate. Children, what is mean by moderate climate? Yes, moderate climate means neither very hot nor very cold. The coastal areas have moderate climate. This is due to the effect of sea breeze. Water bodies heat up and cool down at a slower rate than the land. In summer, therefore, the air over the sea is cooler than the land. This cool air blows from sea to land is called sea breeze. In winter, the cool land breeze blows from the land to the sea. These breezes make the climate near the coastal areas very pleasant. Places far away from the sea do not get sea breezes. So they are extremely hot in summer and very cold in winter. Such a climate is called extreme climate. Now let us compare climatic condition of Delhi and Chennai. Chennai is located along the coast while Delhi is located far away from the coast. As Chennai is nearer to the equator, it should be hotter than Delhi in the summer season. But this is not so. Chennai experiences a mild climate throughout the year as it is near the coast. But Delhi experiences extreme climate. This is because Delhi is away from the coast. Next, direction of winds. Direction of winds can also affect the climate. Winds tend to flow in a particular directions in different parts of the world. They may be hot, cool, dry or full of moisture depending on where they come from. Winds blowing from hot regions increase the temperature of a place, while those blowing from cold regions decrease the temperature. For example, Delhi is hot in summer due to dry hot winds that blow from Rajasthan. In winter, cold winds from the Himalayas make northern India very cold. Winds blowing from the sea make the land close to the sea cool and moist. Sometimes winds bring clouds with them and cause rainfall. Next, humidity and rainfall. Moisture or water vapor present in the air is called humidity. I repeat, moisture or water vapor present in the air is called humidity. Humidity is the amount of water vapor in the air. It is caused by the evaporation of water, so it affects the climate of a place. For example, the places near the equator face rapid evaporation of water due to high heat. This area is hot and humid and receive a lot of rainfall. Deserts are formed in places where there is very little humidity. Air over deserts does not have moisture, so these places receive very little or no rainfall. Very cold places experiences snowfall. The amount of rainfall and the season when it falls also influence the climate of a place. Next, we can discuss about the heat zones of the earth. Depending on the amount of heat received from the sun, we can divide the earth in three heat zones: the torrid zone, the temperate zone, the frigid zone. Now, let us discuss about torrid zone. Torrid zone, the areas on the both sides of the equator between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn are called torrid zones. These areas experience tropical climate. India also has a tropical climate as it lies in torrid zones. Torrid zones remain hot and humid throughout the year because direct rays of the sun fall over it. Temperate zone, the areas that lie between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and between the Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere are called temperate zones. There are two temperate zones, North Temperate Zone and South Temperate Zone. These zones have neither very hot nor very cold, as these zones are away from the equator and also from the poles. Frigid zones, the areas between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere and between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere are called frigid zone. There are two frigid zones, North Frigid Zone and South Frigid Zones. These zones receive very little heat and very cold as they receive slanting rays of the sun. Now children, we can recall the main points of the lesson. Air temperature and pressure, humidity, rainfall and wind influence weather. Weather changes daily. The climate of a place remains the same year after year. Climate depends upon many factors: distance from the equator, height above the sea level, distance from the sea, direction from which the winds blow, humidity and rainfall. The earth is divided into three zones: torrid zones, hot and humid climate; temperate zone, moderate climate; and frigid zone, very cold climate. Hope you all understood the lesson. Thank you, children.